Okay, a ton of businesses are doing this wrong in 2025 when it comes to AI, and this is exactly how we're fixing it at Q-Wave Labs. So have you ever seen a marketing funnel? It's usually the same thing. Top of funnel is awareness, middle you have your consideration, bottom of funnel you have your conversion. What's going wrong here? Most businesses at the top of funnel, here's what they're doing. They're setting up a mediocre website without SEO optimization or LLMEO optimization. SEO is search engine optimization, makes you easier to be found on things like Google, Bing, things of the past that no one is really using anymore. And then there's LLMEO, which is large language model engine optimization, which is essentially optimizing to be shown more by ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, the platforms where people are actually searching for things today. They're running mediocre social media posts. They're running 1 to 2 ads on Facebook, printing business cards and handing them out to friends and family, setting up Google My Business and asking family for reviews. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. Most businesses have been running like this and are doing well and have been for a very long time. But if you're looking to grow, you just need to optimize into the new wave of being able to actually get more traffic to your business through the leverage that AI provides. And we have middle of funnel consideration. So here they're SMS blasting the same discounts over and over. Hey, we're here whenever you're ready. They're sending out basic email marketing, showcasing previous work, not really providing anything of value. And they're sending the same no value mailers to people's homes, letting them know about discounts and specials and call us today. At the bottom of the funnel, maybe they have some testimonials, maybe some positive reviews on Google, which is always good. But more than anything, the reason that they're getting conversions is because if you insist, eventually people will buy. So through sending them those discounts, through letting them know that they're here, through continuing to remind them, basically keeping them at that awareness phase, they almost get leads to jump from awareness straight to conversion. But they're relying on that. They're not really providing anything here in the middle and consideration phase. So what are we doing different at Q-Wave? At the top of the funnel, we're focusing on awareness. How? We're building professional, modern, animated websites using SEO and LLMEO, which I explained before. We're building AI-generated automated social media content posts. AI-generated and automated posting onto social media. We're then running 50 plus ads per month through the leverage that AI provides us to figure out what works for that business and what's actually going to drive that traffic that they're looking for. And of course, we test across multiple different platforms. We don't just focus on Facebook or on Google. We test multiple different strategies to see what kind of works best. At the middle of the funnel, we're focusing on hyper-personalized, humanized, omnichannel lead nurture. So what does that mean? Instead of, hey, Rob, we're here whenever you're ready, we have the best prices, make sure to reach out. It's more so, hey, Rob, we saw that you came into our website and you showed interest in one of our services. I was just reaching out to share with you some testimonials that we had from one of our previous clients. Here's some of the work that we were able to do from them. Feel free to send me a message back if you have any questions. And instead of having that sent in a text or an email, we sent that with a voice message, with your voice if you wanted it to be. We're building interactive high-value lead magnets or lead converters that actually provide value to people. This allows you, and this is kind of a little bit of a mix-up because this falls under middle of funnel and top of funnel. These lead magnets are utilized, but they're dual purpose. They're lead magnets at the awareness phase in order to get people to leave us their information, but then they're lead converters because we're continuing to provide value to the already existing database of leads that you've generated. We're continuing to provide them, hey, here's a new piece of value that you may be interested in, and that's what's going to drive them to ultimately convert. It's because you stay present, but you're not being pushy, you're not being insistent on, hey, we have the best prices, we have the best this. Instead, you're actually providing them value up front. And most importantly, through that hyper-personalized, humanized AI omnichannel lead nurture, which sounds extremely complex, but it really just means that it feels human. It feels like somebody took the time to understand what Robert likes, what his needs are, and being able to do that outreach at strategically timed moments throughout that lead's experience with our company. At the bottom of the funnel, we're offering clear call to actions in order to get them to convert and get them to take that next step in order to work with us. We're making it extremely easy to collect payment and get started. We're trying to minimize as much as possible any sort of steps or having to click on multiple buttons or pages. And we help businesses set up undeniable proof that helps them drive conversions. We help you build testimonial walls. We help you build customer experience stories that allow people to understand exactly what the experience would be like once they get in working with you. We help you build through the use of those lead magnets, of those lead converters. We can sometimes provide the experience of what it's like to be your client before even having that. And that's what ultimately gets people to actually convert, because you're providing them something of value and a reason to, as opposed to just insisting and continuing to follow up with them until they finally do. Okay, so how are we doing this at Q-Wave Lab? I'm going to show you some of the different systems that we've been perfecting over the last 2.5 years that allow businesses to grow the way that they do once they start working with us. So as of recently, over the last 6 months, we started working more with AI-generated content. With the releases of Google VO 3 and some of these new technologies that have come out into the market, we've kind of perfected our craft when it comes down to creating content for businesses based on real events, whether it's UGC creator ads or a commercial, whatever that may look like for them. So automated AI generated video ads, essentially what this is UGC content usually, or straight up commercials based on whatever products or services they offer. We're able to create hyper realistic, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between whether if it's real or not, commercials or ads, or just content that we can post onto their social media depending on what the use case is going to be. On top of that, we've also perfected automated AI generated carousels. These can be posted across Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and multiple other platforms. Essentially, it's usually a slideshow of images, all with the same theme, colors, experience, and then at the end, they always have a call to action, which is comment the word this in order to get the link to take that next step to capture that lead data, usually driving them to one of our lead magnets, which I'll explain more about now. Before we get to lead magnets, we have automated posting across social media and ad platform. Any of the content that we generate for you, or if you're already generating your own content, we're able to very easily set up automated posting for you across all the different platforms that you may want to use. A lot of what we focus on is teaching businesses to drive traffic to lead magnets. Lead magnets are essentially value-based content, pieces of content that we're giving people in exchange for their data. So this works dual purpose. Essentially, whenever you want to capture a lead in 2025, people don't want to be sold to. They want to purchase by their own decision. So you need to make something of value that actually gets them interested and gets them to leave you some piece of information. You can never really win because people already hate a lead form wherever they go, and they hate leaving their information regardless of what it is that they're doing. So all that you can really do is try to make them not hate it as much as possible, which means what sort of value can you provide up front so that these people feel okay with leaving you their information so that you can start following up with them. For that, you really want to get creative. I have some examples here of some of the tech-based, AI-based lead magnets that we've built for businesses. I just want to make a quick important note here. Some businesses, this won't work for, right? Hey, there's no tech-based, like if you run a gym, maybe calculate how much weight you can lose if you start coming to our gym, that kind of thing would work, sure. But some of the more powerful lead magnets don't even have to do with technology or AI, and that's where a lot of our consulting comes into play. We're able to help you identify what the best value-based actions that you can take within your business are going to be in order to get people to actually interact and be interested in leaving you their information. So sometimes that can look like a big event where we're going to have a bunch of food and drinks for everybody that comes along. Just make sure you leave me your name and information at the door. And so everybody has to fill a lead form in as they come. Bring your friends, bring whoever you want, but everybody gets captured at the door. That's a good way to build a list legitimately while providing value. You took care of people's foods and drink, right? It's the same thing that we're doing here with technology. So over here, this is one that we built for a client. This is a test that tells you how insulin resistant you may be. This is a client that was offering a health program. This is an income tax calculator that we built for another client. This essentially based on a few different questions that it asks you, it helps you estimate more or less how much you're going to owe back on your taxes or how much is going to be paid to you in your tax return. This over here, this helps you calculate exactly how much your medical bill would come out to if you had health insurance. So you just upload a picture of your medical bill and it'll tell you how much you can save if you were to take a plan with one of their different options. This over here helps you estimate exactly how much it can cost to replace your roof depending on the different types of materials that this company offers. So essentially you come in here, you enter your address, it utilizes AI to determine the square footage of your actual roof. You can select the material, and then at the end, in order to receive your quote, of course, like with all of these, you have to leave your information in order to go to the next step and see the result. This is one that's actually our own. This is a Q-Wave Labs lead magnet that we set up. It's our AI readiness assessment. It helps you determine exactly how ahead or behind you are when it comes to AI. If you're watching this on social media, you can comment the word quiz and we'll send it to you through DM. If you're watching elsewhere, it's qwavelabs.io/quiz. You can take a quiz to see exactly how ahead or behind you are when it comes to AI in 2025. And at the same time, we get to capture information to then follow up with them and keep sharing all the awesome stuff that we're continuing to do over here at Q-Wave Labs. So a really important point that we like to help businesses with is your main job should really be automating the rest of your business after this point, meaning customer acquisition and service delivery or product delivery, in order for you to just have to focus on these two things. But you're continuing to create content, you're posting across social media, you're running ads, and you're continuing to create lead magnets. And if you're in a product-based business, you're continuing to create new products, of course. But if you're in a service-based business or a business where it kind of stays the same, like insurance or something of that nature, then really all you can do is just continue to come up with these lead magnets on a regular basis to acquire more leads. And like I said before, it's a lead magnet slash converter. Convert those leads, because now instead of sending the book of leads that we're starting to build and we're starting to retarget with the same, hey, we have the best prices, hey, come visit us today. Instead, now we're saying, hey, check out our new this, check out our new that. And these people, they're keeping you at top of mind, not because you're insistent, not because you're annoying, but because you're doing things within your business that they're interested in knowing more about. So all of these leads have to go somewhere. We help businesses build out tailored CRMs based on their needs. The most important focus for this, usually for us, is going to be centralized communications. We want you to have your calls, your SMS, your email, your WhatsApp, your social media DMs, all in one place, so that we can set up AI on the back end to help you facilitate all of those communications and following up with those leads that are coming in. So what we do for this is we build custom CRMs depending on the business needs in order to help them maximize the efficiency of the leads that are coming in and have a clear dashboard where they can see the AI actually doing the work. Once leads come into the actual CRM, we usually build out a 5-day lead qualification or live transfer sequence. This can be as long or as short, as persistent or as not persistent as you want it to be, using all the channels or a few of the channels, whatever you really want to go for here. The idea is you can utilize calls, SMS, email, WhatsApp, voicemails, AI voice messages, AI Instagram DMs, AI Facebook Messenger DMs, AI generated mailers, AI LinkedIn DMs, to retarget those leads throughout a period of 5 days. So the moment they come in through one of your lead magnets, meaning they showed interest, or if they were already an existing lead within your CRM that we retargeted through one of our nurture sequences, if they used one of these lead magnets, now we're going to start calling, texting, emailing, WhatsApping with AI that sounds identical to humans. And what it's going to be doing is reaching out and saying, hey, Rob, we saw that you used our estimator. We saw that you used our lead magnet. We were calling you to know if it would be a good time to go ahead and ask you some questions to see if you'd be a good fit, or whatever your qualification call sounds like. We set up the AI agents to place the calls. If the person doesn't answer, we can do double tap. So let's say the person didn't answer, we're going to try again. Within 5 minutes, we'll give them another call. If they still didn't answer, we can send them a voicemail, an SMS, and an email. After that, we're going to wait 1 to 2 hours. We'll place another call. You can add a WhatsApp message at this point. You can add a LinkedIn DM at this point. You can add an Instagram DM at this point. It's completely up to you. But we work with you in order to build the best strategy, in order to strategically time those touch points and make them as hyper-personalized as possible. So what do I mean by hyper-personalized? Let's backtrack a little. If there's one thing that's important about these lead magnets, is that they're helping us enrich the data of the people who are leaving us their information. So for example, the insulin resistance test asks you some questions about your health. The tax calculator asks you some questions about your finances, your family, your household. The roof estimator asks you about your address, asks you about what type of material you'd be interested in getting for the roof. This one asks you to upload a medical bill. This one asks you to leave us information about your business so we can understand exactly what point you're at when it comes to AI. So what this data now allows us to do is we can start doing things like reaching out, for example, for our health client. Hey, John, we saw here that you mentioned you deal with a symptom of potential insulin resistance, which is X. We were reaching out because That hyper-personalization based on John's answer to that question will determine how the AI is going to be contacting them throughout this sequence. So we're no longer just, hey, John, we saw that you used the estimator. We were reaching out. Whenever you're ready, feel free to give us a call. I think we'd be a good fit for you. Instead, now we're getting hyper-specific with John, and we're doing this through the power of AI without having to have humans on the back end reading every single little detail and understanding John down to the T in order to personalize those messages. So now this strategy becomes that much more powerful. Most sales reps aren't doing the follow-up well enough. They're leaving notes that they called but the person didn't answer, or they're not sending the emails, they're not sending the SMS, they're only doing the phone calls. This allows you to ensure that every single person who shows interest within your business is going to be reached out to in order to attempt to convert them. So let's say after your 5-day or 6-day or however long strategy, that person didn't convert. We weren't able to get them on the phone. We weren't able to qualify them. We weren't able to book them into a calendar or whatever that conversion step would be for your business. Then we come into ongoing multi-channel nurture sequences. So what are these? Ongoing multi-channel nurture sequences allow us to continue following up with clients throughout the different channels that we wish to utilize. So we set up a Google Sheet for you with different tabs. We have one for SMS, one for email, one for WhatsApp, one for phone calls. And all you're going to do is you're going to put in the date, what you would like the message or the call or the email or the WhatsApp to say, and the images that need to be included along with that message. And the system will automatically send those messages to whoever is currently in your nurture sequence at that moment in time. Who goes into the nurture sequence? All the people who didn't convert from here, and any old leads that you had in your CRM before you started working with us. This is what we call, at that point, it's a reactivation campaign, where we're basically taking these automated communications, we're reaching out to that audience throughout the multiple different channels that you offer in order to get them to convert, in order to get them to utilize one of those lead magnets once again, and come back into the top of funnel, where we're gonna go and once again for a 5-day period, try to book them, and continue looping that cycle until that person is ready to make the decision to buy. So what these ongoing nurture sequences allow you to do is program automated messages that go out to your entire audience based on value, sharing testimonials, sharing other lead magnets, sharing real value in order to get people to come into those lead magnets again, leave their information again, and re-enter the top of that funnel once again. What we're teaching a lot of businesses to do is, hey, stay on top of it. Keep creating new lead magnets. Keep creating new lead converters. Because these are the things that when you keep sharing it with them, they interact, they leave their info again, they go back to the top of funnel, and eventually on one of those 5-day attempts to actually book them in, they'll actually bite and make the decision to move forward. So in a gist, those are some of the main services that we offer. I'm going to quickly recap some of the additional services. We have robotic process automation. What is robotic process automation? AI is still not at the level where it can operate on a computer very efficiently. As of the time I'm making this video, GPT agent mode just came out. It's fantastic. I know it's great, but it's still AI. It still hallucinates, and it's still relatively new. What that means is businesses can't fully rely on AI to take action on an old software that doesn't have APIs. APIs are the connections that allow programs to connect to each other. That's what allows your Google Calendar to connect to your CRM. That's what allows your email to connect to an automation platform, etc. So if we're using a platform that doesn't have APIs, what that means is there's no connection between applications there. So what we have to build in that case is robotic process automation. We basically build a robot that takes a certain set of actions and uses logic as it's going through those actions to determine what steps it needs to take to achieve an action. For example, we have a transportation company that we've worked with where we assign over 1,600 daily trips for them. We keep a Google Sheet updated with us with all the trips, the name of the driver, the name of the patient that needs to go with that driver, and our system automatically every day at 9 a.m. runs an API. Every day at 9 a.m. it automatically assigns over 1,600 trips for that transportation company on autopilot without anybody having to lift a finger while everybody's still sleeping in bed. We offer app and custom software development. We've built multiple different applications, some for tracking calories, some have been for music artists to be able to log into an app where they can see their earnings, see how much money they're generating, withdraw directly to their bank account, and view reports on what songs were generating how much. As far as custom software development, through the power of AI and some of the programmers that we have in-house, we're able to build an app for just about anything that you can imagine. Like we like to tell the people that we work with time and budget, we can do just about anything. So it really just comes down to understanding exactly what it is you're looking to do. However, we always like to communicate to the people we work with. There probably is no better team out there that can help you identify the team that you need in order to accomplish just about anything. So if it's not in our wheelhouse, we can probably find you the connections for whatever it is that you need. As you already know, a lot of this is about consulting. A lot of this is about having conversation to understand where your business sits, how it is that we can plug in, if at all. And really our main priority is helping you identify what you need to be doing as far as AI, what you should be staying away from, and helping guide you along the best path. If it just so happens that we become your implementation partner and you want to work with us to implement one of the many systems like the ones that you just saw, it's not our priority, it's not our focus, but we're more than happy to have that conversation with you in order to understand how we can best help you meet your goals. If you'd like to connect with us in order to learn more, you can visit qwavelabs.io/consultation. If you're watching on social media, comment AI and we'll send you the link directly to our calendar so you can book in a call with us. The first step in order to best identify what you need to be doing within the space as far as AI and how it's going to affect your business is to get with the companies that are building AI so they can help you identify where this is going to go, where it's going to head for you. We'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you and be able to give you the best information you need in order to make the best decisions over the best few years. And we'd be more than happy to partner with you if it makes sense to do so.